All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RGL Invite Season 12. We have a great game scheduled for you guys. Rome and Catgirl Cafe are both really good teams. They're Invite highest division, but neither of them so far this season have scored a win. So these teams are really vying it off for who's going to get their first win in Invite of the season. And don't let it fool you that neither of these teams have won a match so far. They're both full of great players. Really excited to see this match, especially on Metalworks, well-known map for soldier high bombs, and the soldier combos on these teams have always been really strong, and so I'm really interested in seeing that matchup. Giblert, what do you think about these teams?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, both teams a lot better than their record suggests. Both teams have had about two or three matches each where they lost by one round. I mean, I know last time we casted, we had Catgirl Cafe losing by one round. I think they're up at one point against Estrogen Took My Homie. Rome also lost by one round. Estrogen Took My Homie. So both teams, their success. And I think Rome also on this very map only lost by one round to what's her name? Greasy Dot Hogs. I always get the name mixed up. Greasy Hot Dogs, Dot Hogs, whatever the name is. But yeah, very good team, top two or three team. So they've got some fight in them. And then Catgirl Cafe, same thing. Only lost by one round. A very long drug out. 0-1 loss to Cat Posse. So these teams are definitely not. I mean, they're not far behind the rest of the division. Honestly, they're just a little bit below. But either way, these teams talking about the head-to-head as well, very closely matched in the past. During qualifiers, both took one map off of each other, so I expect this one to be a pretty close one. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's worth noting that there are a lot of people in the server who have their first season in invite being this one. I think it's about actually five people on Rome, their first season. And I'm not sure if there's anyone on Catgirl Cafe, but just something to look out for. And it's really impressive with, as you've mentioned, the teams have been going head to head with the others in Invite, even though they haven't gotten a win. And so, first time in Invite, definitely nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I think looking at everyone at Catgirl Cafe, everyone here has played Invite before. Mount has played good number of seasons, the low end as well as Gwen. Averted has played last season, got fifth with Biology. Fancy Sun been playing on Dynasty a couple seasons. Nice, pretty strong mid invite team. And then June, I guess June technically played invite before, but June is Prim in Europe, so basically the same thing. But then on the side of Rome, all rookies, I believe, unless someone maybe played long, long ago. But I think most of these are like relatively newer players in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I think it's all people in there with a couple seasons about versus brand new in invite room. So and honestly, I would short prediction here. I think I'm gonna give room the slight edge here. On top of the it already been close, and then Rome being pretty good at this map. Cat Girl Cafe, yeah, Cat Girl Cafe does have one ringer. They have Fancy Sun on Soldier, since I believe I'm actually sure because they said Kawa wasn't playing, and last I heard Nabla was the starting player, but so I'm not sure if Kawa is the new starter or if Kawa is just already ringing and then Kawa couldn't play. But either way, regardless of how it works out today, we have Fancy Sun, very capable player, just hasn't played with his team, not the starting player, so can't expect the synergy there to be perfect. But who knows? Maybe he'll end up being an upgrade or something. He's definitely cast some matches. Last time we saw him play against Roman playoffs of last season, he was a gigantic plays every time. So definitely a player to watch this game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a believer in grape juice on this map. I'm going to have to give it the other way. Cat Girl Cafe having that ringer kind of throws a wrench in my prediction, but I'm a believer in grape juice. I think he's really showing he can play. I think he got his first invite win on this map on, I don't remember what team it was, but I believe it was on Metalworks. And so I'm going to give this one to grape juice.
Yeah, I actually, when it was on product, I believe it's when we casted the
Oh,
first one where Sandblast took over that team
oh.
in the middle of the season. I'm not 100% sure on that. You could be right. We'll have to
No,
check it later for the.
I remember that now. Yeah, I remember that interview. Yeah, it was on product, but I feel like I've seen grape juice win on this map before with casting. So I'm a believer.
Yeah, I mean, if looking at the soldier duos, I mean, Raven in all the games I've casted so far has been a huge impact player, done a lot, as well as as we said, Grape Juice has had a pretty solid season so far, at least in the games I've seen of him where we casted. Fancy Sun, obviously not a starting player, but so I haven't seen him much this season. But like we said in the past, definitely will do well, I believe so. All these soldiers to look out for, and even Scuba Steve in the a couple of the qual matches we watched did, really surprised me and had very solid performances. So a lot of good soldiers to watch out for on this map.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to see how the map plays out. On mids, we've seen a lot of evolution in the playstyle, but both these teams have soldiers that really like kind of changing that up a bit, being more aggressive with their bombs. So I kind of wonder what we're going to see as these mids play out. I want to see these sorts of aggressive plays, but I think it's more reasonable to expect these teams to try to kind of feel each other out at the start.
Yeah, and one thing, at least on the Catgirl Cafe side, I haven't seen Rome play this match or this map this season, but and I guess neither Catgirl Cafe. But one thing I really want to see from the games I've watched, it just looks like some of the last pushes are a little bit disorganized for Catgirl Cafe. Um, Especially like towards the end, it'll look like the initial Uber into last looks good on these Uber red pushes into last, and then it seems like it's just a little bit spread out in the post fight, just like trying to clean up the last bit. So if they've cleaned that up, I definitely like the chances a lot better. But I feel like that is one of their weaknesses so far. Just feeling a little bit split up at the end of these Ubers and just losing some of these potentially won last points because of them. Because if you look at a lot of their games, they're pretty low scoring games where they do pretty well. They hold the other team to a fairly low score. They're just not able to convert the rounds they want. And if you get that last Estrogen took my homie game, they're beating them in pretty much every stat, from like kills, caps, mids. The only crucial stat they didn't win was rounds one. Um, and if you look how many times they pushed last, there's like two or three failed last pushes that look pretty good. So very easily could have won that. So just a few little cleanups here and there, and I think to see a whole different team basically. But as we say that, I'll let you take it away with the first mid
Yeah,
as we ready up right now.
definitely. Hopefully you didn't curse Catgirl Cafe. They do have a ringer, so that might make their last pushes difficult to work out, especially if they fix them. Either way, I'm going to be going with Averted this mid, as the demos roll out as per usual. Demos get to mid first, if you didn't know. Spamming into the bottom left area. Not able to get any early damage so far, but it looks like both teams... Actually, no, Raven and Scumbag Steve bombing straight in, but the soldiers for Rome have taken a lot of damage. One down already. Catgirl Cafe seems to be content to play their advantage, take the high ground, chase into Valley. Grape Juice trying to lead it off, and Gwen actually catches out Rive. Surprising to me. Keeping up the aggression is Fancy Sun bombing through house, hitting a lot of damage onto Gad. Looks like Grape Juice wanted to follow that up, gets cleaned up. When all said and done, 2 for 2, but it's going to be Catgirl Cafe holding mid.
No, see that it does remind me. Actually, I've seen them room play this map, and the on the mids they just seem very passive, both in this game and that. So we'll see if we can keep that up. But as we say that, now on the refight here, they get 4-4. Uber comes out first. They do have to flash too, so it's gonna be pretty close to Uber. We'll see how room sides plays. Oh, but they drop Mig. Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to leave after that. On the same time, Magruder also goes down outside of it, so does that give room a chance to get back in here? No craft to spam to worry about. Only Grape Juice up for projectiles, and look pretty good for Catgirl Cafe. Just Averted dying on the outside of that. Now Catgirl Cafe trying to come back in. Thinks Scuba Steve. He goes down, and
wait, where's the medic?
Front.
It's just the combat classes. They weren't being healed. June left, but the fraggers stayed in.
Yeah, and half the team are kind of back here. It's yeah, it just seemed a little bit discoordinated on Catgirl Cafe. I wasn't quite sure what the plan was there. But maybe some people had a different idea what they're doing, but there's gonna give room a little bit of chance to pressure last. I like they're already moving. Vito does get blown up in that elbow, but like the aggression.
Yeah,
Like what I've seen from Rome so far.
yeah. Catgirl Cafe has slight ad in that player ad. Might give them an opportunity, but I'm sure they really don't want to push out of last at the start, lose a round. No one wants to do that. Content to hold with Engineer. This gun spot is slightly unusual. Might not be the greatest at denying some bombs, but I believe in Mopsy, so... Oh, Theo on Spy. I wonder if he's just checking the off classes. No, he has come out of the forward spawn. Yeah, Gwen's on Sniper as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out on Vio. You know, if Rome doesn't start doing some sort of prodding, there's going to be some suspicion on the side of Catgirl Cafe. Vio...
Yeah, I definitely like Rome to start peeking right now. He's already kind of in position. Don't want to let him get too suspicious.
Wait, sap the gun? Wait, but no one's bombing? He just sapped the gun and cloaked. Oh, here are the bombs. They coming in delayed.
2 rockets onto the med. Very low, but just not quite enough.
Oh, he spies in. Oh my god. Oh! Almost getting it off. Rome dying or Vio dying just in time. And it's going to be 3 down. But look at the aggression from Catgirl Cafe. They did not delay that push. Gwen's already out. Grape Juice has the front door locked down. That's going to be a successful retake for Catgirl Cafe.
It's really cool. And 3 going down for Rome. Just not sure. I don't know. I expected the bomb to come a little bit earlier with the gun sack. That was a little bit odd. And then ending up losing 3 there, forcing them to give up the second. Just seemed like a bit of a wasted opportunity to have Catgirl Cafe pinned on the last year. But, you know, speaking of which, Rome now moving up Valley, get some deep pressure in, and looks like...
Oh, high bomb, Steve.
Under the med, he's got the med in the corner.
Oh my god, no one was watching underpass. That's going to be 2 down, though. And now 3 down. Somehow Ride got caught out during that. Rome's trying to back it up, but it looks like Gad might have different ideas, trying to take an Uber straight into Grape Juice's face. That's going to be the Roamer, forcing the Uber out. The entire Uber used on Grape Juice. Grape Juice is very happy with that trade. It looks like Gad's going to be in as Gwen chases in top right. There's a back cap trying to go off, and that's actually going to draw everyone back for Catgirl Cafe. And look at this, Vio smartly running away. All the way back.
Yeah, buying a lot of time. Pretty much the whole combo went back for Vio there. So that actually does give, even if they're going to be at distance using Gad there, it's going to buy a lot of time. As we have Scuba Steve now in the Valley. Fight also going down underpass.
Oh, Steve could have gone drop down maybe, but it looks like the team backed up. This is very chaotic here. Steve realizing he's now lost his opportunity, backing up. You know, Rome's down 2, but that person behind is extremely annoying. Catgirl Cafe is probably talking about what they want to do. They've decided they're pushing. Gwen's leading the charge, and Rome just ran away in the face of a lone scout, but averted in the backline, going down. Looks like
still fighting. Grape Juice taking on Scuba Steve here. Scuba Steve gets another. That's 2K behind. He's not going to be able to back up, but took down Grape Juice and averted. That's going to give a lot of room for the rest of Rome to work with. As Ubers come out, you have to be careful not to get guy here. And looks like they'll just catch a scout, and everyone else looks like they'll scatter successfully.
Yeah, they get the demo though.
A pretty large Uber advantage.
Yeah, demo though is definitely what you want to see, and it looks like Catgirl Cafe knows there's someone behind. If they catch them out, that's going to be really good. It's going to stall this Uber out. Look at that respawn timer, 18 seconds. And it looks like Catgirl Cafe doesn't want to wait. They just want to try to force maybe. Fancy Sun already spotting Gwen as well, sending their players in. They don't believe in this Uber, but it looks like, yeah, Mopsy's committed in, and Vio's just taking this Uber straight in, but Gad fell to the floor. The Uber fell on the floor. Vio can't chase this Uber.
Mopsy caught in Texas, over by the water cooler, and gonna go down to that nice little rocket by Raven. So getting 3 picks here. Fancy Sun trying to get out. Bombing high, maybe catching Gad here, but he's gonna die before he's even noticed.
Yeah, that was a great
chaotic. Yeah.
Very good split. I don't know if it was intentional, but it did end up working out, so have to give credit to them. But look at the spawns, 3 down. That mid-stat cap really paid off for them. There's an opportunity to force. It looks like Rome is going to be taking people Valley. They want to get this Uber off, sending their Roamer, high-bombing in. They found Juke in underpass. That's going to be a force medic, but at what cost? Rive going down. Uber of Catgirl Cafe getting behind onto the combo of Rome. Gad stuck in lobby. Vio trying to defend, but it's going to be a soldier in the enclosed area. There's nothing Vio can do in the face of all these players, but on the backline, Mig bombing in. Scuba Steve bombing in, but it's not enough. Players down, and now the combo stuck behind. And it seems like the story of this game is Catgirl Cafe just can't ever push because there's always someone behind. Rome got Uber, popped it out, trying to chase down Grape Juice, but he has the jumps all the way back in Valley. And looks like the mid cap is going to be tried to go off. Let's see if the back...
If they can block, yeah, they got 3x on the back cap here with a scout and a medic. Gonna be hard to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, but he does get the stop, and that's gonna be a mid for Catgirl Cafe.
Oh my god, Fancy Sun spawning sniper for some reason in forwards and just making it work. Now, Scumbag Steve trying to bomb, maybe caught out. As I say that, almost kills June. That was a great bomb. And it appears I've crashed, so you must go on.
Yeah, Rome has, we'll talk about that later, but more important thing, Catgirl Cafe's chance, go to last, get the full ad, Still one soldier down. They're gonna walk into the left. Don't even have to use it. They do pop. Getting juggled by this level 1 gun though. It just seems like it's maybe not spotted. Actually, pop more time than you think. Not getting any other kills, but maybe getting out of the demo now. And surf way into the core and Mid-Gun finally crater. But yeah, just the players one by one going down to Catgirl Cafe. And then that looks like, unless someone gets a crazy backup here, Gravy's trying to go for it. That's going to be a recap for Rome. Yeah, just once again, the last pushes, everything looked like it was going well. They were able to walk a little bit. They had a pick on Soldier. Just, I think I really want to see someone play the cap there, because everyone in Rome, aside from the demo, who took a long time to die, was in spawn. They could have pushed the cap there, I believe. Especially after the demo went down. But stayed Rome into the mid now, already picking off two, really turning this momentum around, starting the mid cap. Deny these two. Very likely could be a free second as well, and Uber ad. Just gotta be careful of the drop, and Roberta gets two, so that is gonna stifle the push of Rome a little bit. They do still have Uber ad in 4 and 4.
Yeah.
But have to be very careful of the spawn times. Two coming up for the side of Catgirl Cafe.
Yeah, Rome doesn't care, sending Mig through underpass, but Catgirl Cafe knows to spam. They know you can't push through that door with 2 down, and Catgirl Cafe just proved it. June's gonna get Uber in time. Let's see if Rome countered the Ubers well, bombing in, but look at June, 98, 99, gets Uber, but is it enough? Scumbag Steve dying to avert it is definitely going to be a disaster for this push. Uber of Gwen trying to chase down, it looks like the demo, Mig almost going down, but Uber's quite not enough to get in, but it doesn't matter because Vio's down, that's 2 kills on an Uber, that's enough to push. Gwen getting the charge again, ahead of her team, doesn't matter, killing Rive. Gwen's really been leading these pushes for Catgirl Cafe and making it pay out well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations right there where, I mean, just the fact they got counter popped on and just weren't aware of the situation. It seemed like they were, but yeah, watch out for the trap. The Verda got the other team, maybe getting some revenge, getting a little bit inspired, but nope. Does not get anything. Catgirl Cafe very aware of it as trying to direct versus Valley, just straight in 6 on 6, but like 15 ad for June. Still no Uber though, so not relevant yet. And Room just playing on the high ground here. Fancy Sun getting in on the Raven, knocking Raven back. Theo taking a ton of damage here. Fancy Sun finally going down, and gotta be careful of this Uber out though by June. It doesn't look like Catgirl Cafe in position to do a whole lot with it. So I want to see Room kind of, yeah, it looks like they are pushing to this lower. Gonna get a little bit, see if they can set up for kind of a counter sack. We have Rive in house right now, but not spotted out, so likely we'll go back to stalemating, but still a little bit of pressure and averted instantly leading up Rave with a trap on house.
On the Benny Shack, taking down Raven. I want to see some sort of play here. Mopsy spotting house, knows where the positions are. Let's see if Catgirl Cafe decides on a normal single sack, or if they do some sort of crazy pressure, turn it into a 2-man or something. Averted leading the charge with Gwen, putting stickies down. Grape Juice jumping in to make space, landing on a point, and it looks like they're going for Scumbag Steve. Scumbag Steve jumped away in time, and it looks like Fancy Sun's the sack.
Oh, and dropped by Fancy Sun!
Direct jumping through house, getting that kill, and now Catgirl Cafe is in position to capitalize, and they might not get forced here. Scumbag Steve is behind, but Mopsy knows there's no way this Uber gets forced out, and this Uber is going to go into last with no one set up and a player behind.
Yep. Steve not being behind isn't too bad. He'll still be able to probably come back in and block as long as Mopsy is on him. Oh, it looks like we have a bit of a pause. Speaking of which, so there'll be a little bit of suspense as to what happens with this second attempted last push by Catgirl Cafe.
Yeah, it looks like Steve is, as you said, it was fine if he's behind, but it's not fine if he's dead, and that might just happen here. Looks like he's going to get sandwiched if these calls are on point, and hopefully Catgirl Cafe can figure that Uber push out, if they have player ad or not. As you said, we don't want to see it be a recurring theme. It happens with some teams, and it's kind of heartbreaking to see them have so many last pushes and it just not go their way.
Yeah, 2 things I think on the last push that went wrong for Catgirl Cafe. First of all, it just seemed like they kind of ignored the level 1 gun and ended up juggling them for quite a while, actually, even being level 1. And then the other thing was, after they killed the demo, I would have liked to see someone touch the cap at least a little bit, because it just seemed like the rest of Rome was able to kind of scatter safely. No cap time, no pressure, and then we'd come back out, and then had really nice focus fire in the post by just taking down one by one, getting the picks really fast on the counter aggression, coming back out of spawn. So I want to see Catgirl Cafe, if those 2 things change, and if those 2 things change, I believe they can start winning some of these lasts. And I mean, this is about as good of an opportunity you're going to get. Vio not set up with an NG this time. Scoop Steve very likely going down here unless he pulls off a miracle. And full it's plenty of time to get buff if you wish. As long as they spot this pyro, they shouldn't have too much trouble with the pyro. They didn't have a pyro on their left, so maybe Cafe won't expect it, but I mean, it is Metalworks, it's a pretty standard strat. It's something they should be taking into account, most likely. Especially knowing that the other team didn't have time to set up a gun, that having kind of a desperation pyro in that situation definitely makes sense. So, yeah, Delta, any other thoughts?
Yeah, just that pyro makes me slightly concerned. You know, sometimes people get nervous if they don't do a double scout Uber. You know the potential. We've all seen it. Something somehow gets reflected. It doesn't make sense, but someone dies. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. And about this push, I don't think I have anything else. But about the game, I kind of wanted to talk about how it seemed that Rome really wanted to take advantage of chaos, and in a lot of plays, it felt like when they were getting caught out, we're really quickly at salvaging the situations. It seemed like we're like 3 times when Catgirl Cafe could have taken mid and then second and put Rome on last, but they somehow had their flank or combo get behind, and it really saved them in a lot of cases.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely been very chaotic with a lot of plays behind with Rome. And Catgirl Cafe, it feels like in the past, at least the games we've casted here, it felt like that was kind of a challenge to them dealing with, especially on the Goalie Wash game against, I believe it was Greasy Dot Hogs. Well, it felt like that was definitely a problem, but it seems like they're dealing with it a lot better so far, even with all the chaos.
Yeah,
They're handling much better this game, it feels like.
yeah, definitely. And it usually seems like as games go on, teams get better at dealing and noticing how the team's getting behind. And if it hasn't worked for Rome now, I kind of don't expect it to work down the line, but hopefully I don't end up eating my words.
And yeah, I think the thing with Rome, it just seems like they've had a bunch of odd plays. They just lose 3. I assume not intentionally, but the fact this happened like 2 or 3 times, and then the just the weird places their metas in combos ended up in, like they ended behind in a really awkward area. They took a really weird Uber where where they're down 3 and tried to waste a whole Uber on grape juice. And I know he's a high value player, but he's not that high value for a whole Uber like that.
Yeah, I think that kind of might have been a couple missed shots because Grape Juice was stuck in the top right area, and it seemed like the scout could probably chase him, but then he missed a couple shots and decided it would be worth it to keep chasing. So sometimes a bit of tunnel happens. Either way, definitely seems like the bigger problem is what you pointed out. I think it's kind of related to the Uber counting maybe by Rome. I really don't think in a lot of cases they intended on being so close when the other team had Uber, so maybe they've just had a bit of a miscount or been really trying to play the margins but haven't gotten it right.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that one on the second, definitely seemed like they were a little bit unprepared for the. Even then, even if you're not counting perfectly, no, generally at that point you know it's a small lad and should be ready to leave regardless, unless some miracle like juggle happens, which does happen occasionally. But I think that's something that could have been avoided regardless. The other thing to keep. Yeah, I mean, even
Oh,
never mind. We will resume that thought later. It
and
does
Steve's
look like
dead.
Stu, yeah, Steve will go down. So, golden opportunity to go last year for Catgirl Cafe, as long as they don't choose this precarious left path with a pyro.
Let's say double scout, then it's we go goaded. It looks like
Yep,
they are demo scouting through left. Pyro stuffing it. Let's see. 3 seconds down. Oh my god, the Pyro's still
four
alive.
seconds
Pyro.
down.
Not.
Pyro lives here. That's also huge. The heavy not taking damage yet. Now just set up with this brass piece. This is the situation Catgirl Cafe struggled with. Oh, Gadilli maybe going down though. And now I like the point cap time by Catgirl Cafe. And converted, juggling them off. Lots of damage on both sides. And Steve not able to hold it. And finally,
Perfect. I'm
one health for Fancy, 1 round for Catgirl Cafe.
really happy with how Catgirl Cafe played that. They didn't give up off that Pyro play because they still took the proper positioning, and it forced Rome to go back into spawn, and Catgirl Cafe really played that well. They noticed the heavy was isolated, ended up starting off with that frag, and by playing their positioning, I think they really won that. Anyways, Avert rolling out as last mid. Looks like Rome is going to be eating a bit of damage in the front door. Nothing too crazy. Both teams mirroring each other, playing fairly passively. Mopsy the most aggressive on point, but it looks like Grape Juice is starting off with Fancy Sun high bombing across towards Valley. Mig's going to be caught out, and on the other side, Raven bombed in and traded out for June, but when all is said and done, it's going to be 3 down for Rome, and I believe only 1 down for the side of Catgirl Cafe.
It's still we're here in pretty good spawn time on Steve. He should be back. Raven finally going down. One person had to go back and deal with that, so it's also going to delay the push from Catgirl Cafe a little bit. So, want to see if they're going to push for this horse, but it looks like given the spawners coming in the timing of that, I do like the decision just go back, settle on mid. Mids in general, on pretty much every map, the hardest point to take for free, aside from I guess pushing second usually. So
Rome,
just getting a good setup here, not a bad choice, as they do just pop straight through lower. A lot of people pretty close, everyone just gonna jump out and get away. Rome still in the chase, gonna keep running this, and it's like maybe just rolling the momentum.
yeah, but June 80% already. By the time this cap comes down, buffs are going to be out, and Catgirl Cafe is going to probably know what they want to do. It looks like they're going house, maybe expecting an early pop, or maybe they want to take it for free. Looks like spamming a bit, and they get forced, averted, taking this bomb into the top right, catching up, Mig demo down. That's exactly what Catgirl Cafe wanted. On the back line, though, Fancy Sun going down, and it looks like there's a back cap attempt, but Catgirl Cafe doesn't care. They're stacking mid, averted's in lobby, but they know Rome can't contest. And now
Uber manage, and I'd like to see Rive just kind of live back here, maybe buy a little bit of time and just live so that Rive can pinch the people they're trying to leave along with the team and stay alive here. As we see Rome already pushing towards lower, spot very early, Cadilly taking some spam, already down to half health. Soldier finally pushing out the other soldier, Grape just getting a lot of high value spam, and Rive does go down in the backlines, no pinch coming in for Rome.
yeah, but Uber
Walk up, under the right. Not as successful as other team. Getting jumped pretty hard. Averted might go down. Nice arrow by June. Keeping Averted alive. And push all the way back to second. No kill for Rome. We'll at least get this mid. Just same old leapfrog scenario set up again.
Yeah, that seemed like mostly a solo scout Uber until it got into house. Maybe there was some mistiming on the bombs. I think if there was a soldier there, they could have actually caught everyone out. Either way, Uber's out, averted, bombing in to the top right. Kind of a mirror of last time, but again, Mig caught out. Catgirl Cafe, though, this time not having the scourge of a player behind, and they catch out Vio immediately. 2 down, including the demo. Catgirl Cafe wants to push, and apparently I'm wrong. There is someone behind. Fighting mid on Mopsy is Raven, and that's going to be a back cap stopped. Catgirl Cafe just can't have these pushes go right for them. People keep getting behind. They have to leave.
Yep, Grape just trying to finish the cap, and Raven gonna stop again. MG fight on mid. Rockets for Grape Juice, and the rest of the team coming back. Not going to be a fair fight anymore, but Raven almost winning that even. Got Grape Juice down to half, considering it's about a 50-50 fight, and then the whole team coming in at the end. Rome back with Uberad, catching an early kill on Grape Juice. Fancy Sun on the top left, gotta be careful. He's going to try to jump out and gets shredded by the scout there. And now, still a little bit of ad, but gotta be careful not to pop it back into the Uber like they did last time. I'd like to see Rome to see if they can dry this valley, which looks like they're doing. Yep, just want to see them kind of play with the horse, make use first, and they do deny 2 spawns, so it's going to be very hard for the other team to avoid, but they do end up using about the same time. After flash 2, it's going to be slightly better for Catgirl Cafe, just holding the scout here, just perma-molting these couple people, and then, yeah, such a long Uber. Nice job kind of spreading it out.
Yeah, but look
Cafe.
at the positioning for Rome. They have it on lockdown, but somehow it doesn't matter. Mopsy just walks in, kills a soldier who is on high ground, but oh my god.
Mig taking down June with just a pipe from downtown. Huge 3-point shot, taking down the med there, now securing another Uber ad. Scrape Juice, trying to make something happen through underpass here, not going to be able to. And bomb coming from behind though, Fancy Sun onto the combo, getting everyone down low, but Vio hitting some nice shots and keeping the med, everyone else alive there.
Yeah, looks like Catgirl Cafe doesn't want to risk it. They don't want to try to force, being down 1, don't want to get rolled into last, so they're just going to set up on last, forgo their set, force opportunity on second, and it looks like they're doing the classic NG, no other off classes, probably gonna have, oh no, they do have a pyro, probably gonna spam for the gun or try to stuff top right. Either way, fairly standard hold. Let's see what Rome has. Looks like they're leading with Vio and Mig coming in, but Mig didn't get the memo that there was a pyro, took a couple seconds to get it down. Gun finally goes down, but Gad going down, and Raven is not what Rome wanted. Vio tried to get on the point, but his team was getting stuffed, and so he just gets cleaned up immediately afterwards. And it's going to be both scouts, which is really fortunate, because that means that there's probably enough capping power to actually get the point in time.
Yeah, this tries to be very close. Rome, 1 second on the spawns. Will they get it? It does look like Rome actually will get everyone up, so Rome probably wants to refight this here. No, there's no heals. Got 3 people
Yeah.
have heals already. Probably just retake this 2 already. And with both meds going down, it actually doesn't change the situation too much.
Yeah.
Nice ability to kind of stay in it for Rome.
Yeah, Fancy Sun spawn there was really unfortunate. That 4 seconds after everyone else made that there was absolutely no chance they'd actually be able to contest. Ubers are going to be even. Sentry gun going up. Looks like Rome doesn't want to wait for the Ubers to come out before doing anything. They're spamming right now. Although I suppose maybe they're just peeking. Yeah.
On the last push, I do want to mention I really like how VO playing the point there. I almost won them the round, even though things look very bad at first, but would have taken kind of a miracle to win that, considering the... Oh, it looks like they're actually going to try to take this on the very small ad here. Getting under Birded, getting juggled up, going down. Now, the point to kind of force out the Uber, but I would like to see the rest of the team kind of get out. Dilly staying in for so long, though, versus the Uber, there's no way they're going to win. Easily could have ran there. I don't know... And anyway,
Must have been a miscount on the Uber, and so they overcommitted and then thought they had no chance of leaving, is what I'll assume happened. Either way, Rive trying to live underpass, getting the pack in alley, but Mopsy might have overchased. Scumbag C bombing in. What a great movement by Mopsy to not get caught out by that bomb. So when all's said and done, even players slight ad for June. Let's see if they continue the trend of taking these slight ad Ubers.
yeah, that just seemed like... I don't mind the attempt to go for it, especially catching averted. They would have touched the cap just a second sooner. I think that could have made something happen there, but I think the big issue there is just that just staying in for long. There's no way they're going to win that last fight, and easily could have had time to get out there, but 30 ad on Catgirl Cafe, now trying to walk it into mid.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god, trap. Mopsy and Grape Juice, that's the flank down. Catgirl Cafe has to leave, but it looks like there's a flank. Scumbag Steve going through drop down. Unfortunately, not quite getting the timing. He couldn't see anything, so can't blame him, of course. And with the flank down, Rome definitely has an opportunity to either force or try to, like, take an exchange, but it looks like they're going for the force, sending Raven all the way, pressuring out the players and leaving house. But Rome actually seems like they're just backing up here.
Yeah, it seemed very nice for him. I would like to see the heals pressure Val a little bit more, take that a little bit more aggressively. I mean, yeah, 2 picks right there. You should be relatively safe, as long as you have your team ready. So I think they kind of maybe gave up an opportunity to get a force there. I think that could have been a bit more ambitious. That it felt like they're playing a little bit scared, which you don't want to see. Come on.
Yeah, have to wonder. Maybe their roamer did take a lot of damage on that bomb. Maybe he called, he couldn't go, they didn't want to do anything. Either way, they are set up in Valley now for a second attempt. Grape Juice spotting for pressure, hitting a rocket onto Gad, gonna make him think twice about going into Valley. Doesn't want to get bombed, but it's gonna be Raven bombing in for the pressure, and Rive somehow got an underpass, unspotted, got on the demo. Rive almost killing averted. Fancy Sun does go down for Catgirl Cafe, but that's gonna be 2 down for Rome. Catgirl Cafe taking Valley, it looks like, but there's traps above. I don't know if anyone knows, but it looks like Gwen doesn't want to test it. And that's going to be a push stymied by Big's great trap on underpass. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, that was a little bit sketchy. You had just the scout and the med hanging out in Valley over there. Down 2, only down 1 for the side of Catgirl Cafe. Seemed kind of sketchy, like could have got caught off and forced there, but maybe with the trap, being able to keep his team in it. Now you have Rive trying to change it up a little bit. I haven't seen a whole lot of sniper this game, but Rive trying to break the stalemate with the sniper class now. Kind of waddling into the front line now.
Yeah.
House going to take the first shot here.
House didn't expect this angle, but if they do turn the corner, there is going to be a body shot opportunity. Unfortunately, it looks like it missed, and Rive actually goes down, so that's 1 down for Rome. Mig's down to 40 health. Is there anyone underpass who can chase? Yes, and Valley averted catching out Mig, knowing his teammate called out that damage, and now in House, Gwen coming in, forcing the Uber off, Theo wanting people to multi, but everyone in Catgirl Cafe ran away, and so this is a solo Uber for both, which is perfect. Gwen trying to chase, but Theo seems like he's able to leave in time, but there's a bunch of damage on these Rome players.
Yeah, it's very scary. Just the spam from the lunchbox there, almost to get on Delia on the exit. Just didn't seem like there's a whole lot of purpose in trading there. I mean, down 3 like that with pretty bad spawn times, I don't think there's any chance unless someone immediately got dropped. I guess I don't mind going for it. It's just it was a little bit sketchy on the lead there. Almost lost their med. It was just maybe one little chip shot away from things being catastrophic. But hey, ended up working out for the long run, so probably not too much to worry about. It would slight aside, but both teams probably just kind of playing it even, and then Catgirl Cafe getting ready to set up for a standard sack play probably.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like they're already taking this valley. Gwen peeking underpass. I've seen a lot of these stacks have a scout run underpass, which I haven't seen too much in recent times, so it's pretty cool seeing that play come back in very often this match. Looks like Averted kind of leading this charge, getting his stickies out. Let's see what Catgirl Cafe is waiting for before they sack. It looks like Grape Juice is all buffed up. Must be waiting for Gwen to get some positioning. And it looks like it's going to be the other side, actually. Rome, counter-aggressive bombing. Grape Juice doesn't like that. He's going to bomb in as well, but both soldiers are kind of just jumping in and out immediately.
Yeah, lots of space for Catgirl Cafe, just pushing this valley. Everyone in the room kind of stacked on this left side pretty much. So
Wait, house is
we gotta
clear.
push through house, yeah.
Grape Juice bombing in and exiting through house, but Riot is there. Fortunately, his flank is there to trade Grape Juice out. And
that's catching a soldier pick on this this point in particular, very big. Catgirl Cafe now bought a lot of space for themselves, getting good damage from Fancy on getting in off the team. Mig almost going down. Mig does go down, does get dropped, and everyone's getting dropped now. Now the Uber finally comes out. Uber is just one single soldier driving down and holding on to it. Nice little surf forward too. It's going to be absolutely catastrophic for Rome there. Just dropped everybody. Easily could have taken the trade there, but just a little bit too late. Just tried to milk it too hard. And now in a very precarious situation, as Uber comes out, Raven probably going to go down here in lunchbox, going to get cleaned up. And I like
dropped. Someone got dropped. Averted got dropped. And that might actually let Rome come back into this. It looks like Mig's putting sticks on point. Scumbag Steve fighting it as well, but no, the focus fire scouts might be enough, and there it is. Grape Juice and Fancy Sun doing a great bomb to finish that out. Looks scary there for a second.
Yeah, I mean, dropping it up not ideal, nonetheless. I really like what they done the last push. Aside from that, just a really good point pressure early, and especially, and then three collapse afterwards. Even though it looked good for them briefly, just the fact there's so much point pressure made them take kind of awkward positions and them to easily just focus fire and win that last fight. So great job on Catgirl Cafe, proving my prediction wrong. Now up 2-0 with only 5 minutes left. Gonna be an uphill battle for Rome.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Catgirl Cafe taking this a little more aggressively, but no, it's Rome sending their soldiers into Valley. That's gonna be
going down. Giblert also going down in the back line here to Fancy Sun.
And that's going to be almost a clean wipe, but Rive is going to stay alive, and the medic died for Catgirl Cafe, so they're not going to be completely happy with that, but it's definitely a good mid for them. Rive behind is going to mean... I wonder if Rive is going to spawn camp Averted? But somebody's going to have to come back for the med. Either way, Rive trading out.
Oh, not bad. Gonna buy enough time to make sure that Rome's able to set up on second here. And pretty good spawn times for both. Both got a very fortunate spawn wave there. So Scuba Steve trying to round in house a bit, but nonetheless going to go back to second. So, looks like pretty much the same thing. I don't expect either team to try to really force anything here. Especially Catgirl Cafe being up 2. No reason to really rush anything. So probably just gonna wait for both teams to get Uber and then play the sack game once again.
Yeah, both teams continuing what we see on second. Definitely the stalemate we've seen most often on this map. But it looks like Catgirl Cafe wants to wait for the Uber. They know Rome has slight ad. You don't want to go in there in case Rome does something crazy. And it's actually going to be Mig holding Valley here. Grape Juice knowing that just bombs in. Mig down to like 5 health. What a great bomb. Grape Juice living. Rome... Or Catgirl Cafe counter-aggression into Valley, getting down Raven, Scumbag Steve though, getting the Uber for stop. That's both soldiers down by Rome. Catgirl Cafe wants to try to take this point, maybe get the force off. Looks like Rome wants to stop with the Uber, but Catgirl Cafe is wise to this. They're running away and there's no one to chase, it's just a scout. That's going to be everyone for Catgirl Cafe living. The flanks in ramp room, getting behind into lobby, and that's going to be Gad getting cut off by the flank. That's basically a wipe.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard for Demo to jump out there in that situation to block, especially just with where Mig was positioned. And then just having scouts, only scouts on that Uber. Just good job on Catgirl Cafe scattering now. Rewarded with, as we say that, another round. Now up 3, manning position with only 3 minutes left. Once again, it just feels like in so many situations, Rome's staying in too long for no reason. Like after their initial Uber failed and down two, already have people behind. Not sure why they decided to stay instead of trying to turn around and just try to kill those people behind. But ended up getting punished for it. Now down 3-0 as the mid's actually not going too bad. They killed them out on the last two mids. A nice little alley-oop last time. But we'll see what happens. Dilly already getting down pretty low as the bomb comes out. One rocket lands on Dilly's head. Isn't able to surf it. Is going to go down. And June still at full health here. Going to be very safe. The whole team gathered around. As Soldier comes in, Raven going for the Market Gardener, but isn't going to be enough. Good surf by June after the shovel whiffs. And that's going to be, wow, dominant things all going in favor of Catgirl Cafe now. Now up 3-0.
Yeah, the moment Gad went down, Catgirl Cafe knew they could just go into Valley. They saw the bombs coming, and they just kept backing up Valley. Rome had to chase, and it really worked out well for them, cleanly wiping. And Catgirl Cafe has shown they know how to push last. They're next, and I would not be surprised if we're very soon looking at a 4-0.
Yeah, it looks like they figured out the last. Just kind of unfortunate the first one got juggled bad by the pyro and the level 1 gun. But, we'll see if they change it up and decide just go another direction. Yeah, they will go another direction, just avoid the pyro completely. I like it. Walking in, able to milk even. Getting a lot of damage on Scuba Steve. To go down, take down Scuba Steve. No cap pressure, Demo still has sticks on it, can't really win. Able to shoot the ones off the edge and just straight up cap there. Wow, nice job.
Yeah, wow, Rome starting to kind of fall apart at the end. The scouts for Catgirl Cafe just seem unstoppable. Just picking apart every soldier bomb and then continuing the aggression forward.
Yeah, like I said, I know I've been harping on this a lot, but just really love the early cap pressure there. And, sometimes just straight up wins you the round, just like with Gwen right there. Just shooting the stick off the edge and then able to get it for free. Now, one more round for Catgirl Cafe to put it to rest. Got to claw back 5 more rounds. It's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, averted, spamming across, both teams playing fairly standard. As I say that, Scumbag Steve bombing across, down low, and look at that, Gwen and Mopsy know he's isolated, so Scumbag Steve dies immediately because the scouts of Catgirl Cafe are on point. Gad, I didn't quite see how Gad died. I think it was a Fancy Sun bomb. Either way, Rome has to just run away.
I believe it was a bomb and a little bit of help from a bird to finish off with a pipe. Wasn't sure if it was a roller direct from downtown, but either way, results the same. Full Uber advantage once again for Catgirl Cafe. And if the Uber pushes look like the last one, I also like the adjustment, just avoiding pyro completely. This could be game right here. We do have Raven going for the bomb. It's a nice rocket into June. Nice hold. Dodging all the spam. June just looking very good this game. And the rest of Rome forced retreat back to last. Don't have the off classes set up either, so again, big opportunity with the kind of late spawn on Raven, so not going to be full buff potentially. It looks like a delay in spawn, so able to get everyone healed at least. So we're able to get set up a little bit. Do have the brass beast heavy. So yeah, once again, Milk again, knowing there's no sniper, hasn't been a sniper. Rome kind of back on this left side again. Those soldiers kind of jumping around, just buying some time. Catgirl Cafe, not in firm position, got the little bit of gap pressure, but Mig just shooting the sticks at the point. And then counter Uber comes out. And Rome able to hold on to this for now. But looks like they're not going to be able to catch anything with Uber.
Yeah, definitely, as you said, all Catgirl Cafe needs is one round, but we've seen reverse 5-0s before. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying we have seen them. Either way, slight ad for Catgirl Cafe. I kind of expect them to let it even out and just try to force.
Yeah, I mean, they did leave pretty late there, so they probably do know it's like a good 25 ad. I think it'll really depend on how they're set up if they feel like they can't get anything. It looks like I want to take it. Yeah, it looks like everything on this far left. So no pyro this time, just going to walk it straight in. 15% left to get for Cadilli. No pinch yet, no cap time either. Giblert just able to kind of kite around, play in the middle a little bit.
Oh, he gets piped.
How can he do it? Yep, does end up forcing it out. And, if they don't get any Uber with this, could be another chance to replay it, but now Graves is going down. Going to be a little bit of a hold for Catgirl Cafe, as they're going to be all the way out actually. So now even, and Rome back on second. So off the dreaded last, and back in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Slight ad again for Catgirl Cafe. Unlikely that they take it, but they've surprised us, so they might go again. Either way, We know this stalemate well, and it seems like Catgirl Cafe pretty much always finds a way to break it. What do you think Rome has to do differently to hold on to these?
Yeah, it just seems like both times they got forced. It seemed like they lost some people really early in Valley. Like someone would bomb to try to pressure them back, but instead of bombing out, would just get shredded a little bit too fast, and then not be able to make it back. And once you lose a soldier on this point, holding Valley gets a lot more difficult. Gives them a lot of space, and once you're taking that space, it can be very difficult to hold on to your Uber.
Grape Juice
As we
in
have Grape Juice
on the
already in,
bomb.
yeah.
Oh,
And a lot of space on his left. Nice
Fancy
air
Sun's
shot
behind.
there.
Fancy Sun did the fast bomb into lobby, going behind, but gets cleaned up already. It's going to be Rome's turn to do some sort of play. Looks like Mig's leading the charge. Stickies have been cleared above underpass, and Grape Juice getting forced off the Banny Shack. Raven high bombing in.
Oh my God!
Mark Gardner, June down from
Find him, 9
downtown.
defines!
Oh my God. Mopsy in top right. Let's see if Mopsy gets caught out, though. It looks like Catgirl Cafe has done a really good job recovering. No one dying so far. As I say that, Scumbag Steve trying to chase. And what is that? Fancy Sun on Sniper? I'm not sure if I've ever seen that player play Sniper. Either way, Rome's leading the charge in, but Grape Juice is in Valley here, fighting Scumbag Steve. It's pretty chaotic. Chasing into lobby is Vio, finding, I
Birdie on
believe...
the left here, might get caught out.
But
taking down
counter aggression, chasing through Shutter into last is extremely aggressive, so that's both demos down for both teams. Catgirl Cafe wants to fight this. Mopsy leading it in through Shutter. That's Raven down, 2 down for Rome. Rome needs to run away, and Scumbag Steve caught out on the health pack, not where you want to be. Catgirl Cafe showing their invite experience.
Yeah, just really brave, really a confident push, just walking in there, getting the kill on that soldier that was not getting supported. Now walking back into mid, 3 down. Very tough for Rome here. Spawns don't look good, and yeah, I think once again another really questionable attempt to hold your ground there. Just knowing your spawn times, knowing the other team's already taken better position to force you back in the corner. There's just no way you're going to turn that fight around without a miracle. But regardless of that, gotta give shout out to Raven for that. The ramp slide Market Gardner just flying in, and by Azura dropping.
Oh, the pre-high bomb.
Once again, another bomb coming in. Nice rocket. So this time staying alive, looking much better. Even Ubers. Once again, same thing. Fancy Sun bombing to this left, possibly going behind. This time just bombing over the front. Going down here, and rest of Catgirl Cafe in pretty deep. Could be subject to getting caught out here, but as looks like Rome pushing house, taking down Mopsy very low, but Mopsy gonna weave away as Soldier going behind Raven, trying to make another big play here. This time,
Wait, June might be caught in. Uber getting forced out, but that's going to be, that Scout Rive is going to go down, so that's 2 down for Rome. I'm not sure if Catgirl Cafe is too upset with this. Rome got in cleanly, though, which is not what they wanted. No longer too much opportunity to force. Mopsy got on the red crate, actually. They don't know. Mopsy's just on the mid. Gad eating 2 scattergun shots, has to force out. Averted right to come in during
the
that.
backup here might end up just getting the second by herself. Raven trying to contest it, but not too late. Does take it down the Scout, but it's not enough. They're going to be lose their second for that, and Dilly very low, and Uber out for Catgirl Cafe. This is looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, we've said it, but it's just chaos, these games. I mean, going behind there, very well done for the Scout usage. It's going to be Raven high bombing into Valley, hitting 2 rockets onto June, actually only 1. So 3 down for Rome. Fairly large ad for Catgirl Cafe, but it might not be enough. Gad could get Uber in time, depending on how slow Catgirl Cafe is. Looks like...
I think you take it anyway. Get about 30% no setup, but at the same time, if you spot it, you just don't, doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like your team's ready to go because the team wasn't quite buffed up, wasn't quite in the right positions. Then also very fine to just call it off if you don't feel confident and if it feels like something doesn't feel right. Sometimes that's just how it's not. You should just go. In my experience, something just doesn't feel right, and you decide it's not time. We can just play for the force. So as we say that Grape Juice in here on the right, trying a lot of push on the left, but
killed the gun.
Mopsy down to 1.
Oh, Gwen down to classic 2-man. Did get the gun, so that is what they wanted. But Scumbag Steve maybe a little too fast, or maybe they just told him to go sack on his own. Either way, that is going to be a down. Looks like Rome's pressuring Shutter, so maybe they didn't want that player to die. Either way, Rome's still on last.
Almost taking a lot of damage in that Shutter there from that soldier. Almost getting forced to go down to 50.
Did they bomb through ramp room, or did they go Shutter?
Not quite sure. I just saw the kind of the rocket chasing Giblert through the shutter there, getting some good damage on. Yep, Vigo trying to second him on Spy. This time on his last. Maybe just checking off glasses.
Yeah, traps above main. Averted, careful not to... Oh my god. 3 down. Traps in right.
Trap.
And Averted might be caught out too. Averted down to 2 HP. Where's the Uber getting... Oh my god, ramp room. Scumbag Steve just walking through. June drop. That's going to be a wipe? What? I don't know what just happened, but apparently a medic didn't use in time. Averted got caught out. I think Mopsy... I think June wanted to leave Averted and not use, but Max Steve just went through Valley and caused some confusion, so the drop happened. A Raven leading it in through top right, gonna go down first, but the spawns are not here for Catgirl Cafe, so they can't really put up a force. They did get a pick, which they definitely like. Looks like everyone is gonna live for Catgirl Cafe, so they're gonna be able to do some sort of force on second.
Yep. Very big ad though, still a lot of time to work with. Being down 1, trying to milk it here would be pretty difficult, especially with the meta already down low. Supposed to be able to get the pack, some of that free healthcare, a little bit of socialized medicine, but, you know, Uber now dwindling. I wouldn't surprise if they just pop this through. It looks like that is what they're going to do. Just probably going to pop through in the stemmer right here. Looks like, yep, now Megan can juggle pretty hard. Everyone else on Catgirl is pretty far back. Just given how they got up there, it does seem like they probably could have maybe just dropped and then rotated to Valley or milked it in there. But
Take me through Shutter. Gwen leading the charge. It's a solo scout, though. There's no projectile to follow it up, but Gwen doesn't care. She's just going in. Unfortunately, there's players in-house to kind of cut her off. Averted bailed out, but no picks is definitely not what Catgirl Cafe was going for, but you know what? They did stop the point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them popping through since they didn't have any information. But I would have liked to see someone kind of spotting through Valley. Maybe could have called that, you know, the way they're set up, they're all very far back, and maybe could have turned that into a dry push through Valley. Nonetheless, still having one once again, so not the worst situation to be in. Now this time, are trying to drive through Valley, trying to milk it in a little bit. Now have the Uber, everyone's single life so far. Bomb does come in, kind of pressured in this corner. Giblert just gotta be very careful. Watch it. The Uber does come out. Gotta be very careful. Watch for this counter pop. June very far away, just playing very safe. One person down, not able to get the Uber in time, but
3 down.
Everyone else still able to get saved. And now Theo, Giblert on a very longer feed, could get cut off here as well.
Yeah.
So we have Grape Juice now, looping behind through the house, getting one rocket, throws it forward, getting moved by Giblert. Averted with the chase down, takes down the getaway. Last sticky, and that's going to be pretty much a wipe for Rome as the last couple of spawners. So once again, just using the Uber and just not getting ready to get counter popped on there, just greeting too much and not playing to leave soon enough and now losing the med for it once again. I feel like that's been one of the big themes from Rome this match. But now it's going to look like a pretty good situation with Catgirl Cafe. 70 Uber at.
Yeah.
Takes a shitload milk through this left side here, and I think I've already back on the. Oh wait, actually, has the gun on second.
Yeah, that's the Banny play. We don't see that too often anymore, but it is a thing. Scumbag Steve did push into house, kind of made some space, went through drop down, but went through drop down just to die to us. Anyways, Rome at full disad is going to be stuck on last. They didn't manage to force the Uber off, so it would seem Catgirl Cafe has an opportunity to end this match.
Yeah, being down a soldier on this last makes things a lot more difficult. He will be up for the post-fight, but yeah, much better pinch than last time. I love the spawn by Grape Juice, pinching all these people that rotated to the left. That's 3 picks immediately. Those will just come in, but it's not going to be enough. Just
Are you sure?
Steve, last end, I'm not sure, but sure. Now, so wow, not what I expected at all. 5-0, absolutely dominant for Catgirl Cafe. Winning their first win of the season over Rome, Catgirl Cafe now finishing phase 1 of Invite. 1-6, but hey, getting that one win. Definitely good moral victory and shows that unfortunately lugs, that's no lugs right now, but yeah, important moral victory for Catgirl Cafe. Gotta give them a lot of confidence going into the second phase, I think. Not on the flip side with Rome, now 0-6, but still have a chance to kind of get an upset versus their last match of Phase 1, who I believe will be casting on Thursday against LeBron Santinople, formerly a lot of former Dynasty players on that team, if you're unfamiliar. So yeah, Delta, what are your thoughts on the match?
My thoughts are the invite experience Catgirl Cafe has kind of showed Rome definitely didn't play badly, but it just seemed like they kept making small mistakes that Catgirl Cafe recognized immediately and immediately knew how to take advantage of them. And that's kind of just what kept happening. As you mentioned, Rome, slight issues with their post Uber positioning or Uber positioning when trying to medic positioning when trying to force, and Catgirl Cafe really never messed those advantages up.
Yeah, I think yeah, the big things I saw from Rome just going a little bit chasing too deep with the Ubers, trying to take some of these Ubers in these situations where there's just no way they're going to have a good Uber, and then just a couple weird times where it looked like they're trying to hold a point where they just had no positioning, didn't have players, didn't have good spawn times, favor, and yeah, just end up losing more than they bargained for it. So um, aside from that, I mean, the first 20 minutes, I mean, it was a 5-0. Cragger Cafe definitely dominated towards the end there, but all things considered, it was pretty close for like the first 20-ish minutes. The
Gwen,
thing,
38 and 10.
yeah, Gwen had a lot of moments where Gwen just kind of ran through and just was able to get a quick two shot on someone, just playing very confidently, just showing that Metalworks not just a soldier map. If at least for the combo scout especially, flank scout definitely kind of rough to play on this map in my opinion, but combo scout, yeah, a lot you can do, and definitely making almost top damaging, only one off, one behind Fancy Sun, who their ringer performed very well. Up damaging the story going 24 and 21, only taking 184 DPM too, so great stats all around by Fancy, and really loved that how they changed up those last pushes, especially that very last one. The last push before that, they didn't have anyone really pinch bombing into the other side, so Gidley was able to get the Uber and kind of just stand in an awkward spot for free. But the last time, just the instant collapse, pinching them immediately to seal the game. Love to see it. And I think the other thing to keep in mind, just it did seem like in most situations, Cacto Cavity just able to keep their med alive and keep their med from forcing a lot better. Just better protection, kind of better, maybe better positioned by June as well. I think that was a difference in some of these situations because June just never in those situations to get caught by the Ubers, just playing it well every single time. Rome tried to pop on them. Just I don't think June got caught a single time in those situations. I think one thing Rome maybe could have done, maybe focus more on the combat classes, just knowing you're not going to catch the med, just going for the picks and then playing off that. But a lot of hindsight there. And
Yeah,
Cacto Cafe. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
with that, I think Catgirl Cafe did a really good job scattering their players. I'm not sure there were too many opportunities. There were some maybe in like lobby, but like on all the open points, I don't think they ever had a chance of doing that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It definitely looked like Catgirl Cafe, just really good at spreading out, and keeping people alive, moving by their projectile classes, have good jumps to get away, get out of those situations. And I think another thing is like the deaths on Mig. It did seem like Mig was getting caught out more than averted, especially there's back-to-back times where Mig got caught out on the as Catgirl Cafe leapfrogged onto mid. So definitely not what you want to see there. And averted also getting just the better DPM overall, 255 DPM to only 190 for MiG, and 9 less deaths, though. Those two stats are always kind of related. If you're alive, you're naturally going to do more damage. And overall, I do think, I do like to see, it looks like Catcore Cafes on this map have cleaned up their last pushes a lot more, and I think if they're able to keep it up, they could end up with a decent seed in this second half, in this phase 2 of Invite, going this, the bracket phase. So, Delta, any other thoughts?
Uh, I don't think so. Maybe we can just. I guess we've already covered logs. I'm not sure if there's anything else production needs us to do. Wait, Thursday and Friday we have matches. Yeah, Thursday we have advanced, and look out for our other casts. We Fireside Casts is casting at least 2 times every week, usually 3 times. So stay tuned for more. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought we have a Rome match again on Thursday, I believe, as well. Okay, yep, someone said in advance, but yeah. Are we still live, by the way? Oh yeah, and just once again, I want to give my quick shout outs. Thanks again to Fireside, um, having us here, having me here. Thanks to both teams, Catgirl Cafe and Rome, for putting on a good show. And yeah, shout out to my who apparently won tonight, so good job to them. And thanks to Doctor Underscore for producing here and supporting my Euro Truck Simulator ventures. All right, I think that's all. So Delta.